With all the major goings-on, it is a wonder Professor Black hasn't cancelled the Yule dance just as he had Quidditch. But perhaps he was too busy doing something or another up in his office. Nobody ever knows what it is anyhow. The dance would precede the winter break. Anna hopes that with most students gone, she would be free to roam the castle halls and surrounding countryside with impunity. Not that she doesn't already. But more importantly, the dance. No, this is silly. Should she?
Miss Visconti, I know Mr. Thakkar doesn't pose much of a challenge for you, but please at least keep from falling asleep before the lesson ends.
Professor Hecat's biting wit is as sharp as ever, as are her deep-set eyes. Anna could feel her cheeks tingle with an unwelcome blush. Apologies, Professor. Sorry, Amit.
It's okay, but you can put me down, I yield.
She nods, still feeling awkward for being called out while daydreaming. Accio! She pulls her friend over to her, flipping him head up in the process, then lets go of her charm, allowing him to land more or less gracefully. The rest of Defense Against the Dark Arts passed in relative peace. If one can call the reactionary cast of Confringo by one Sebastian Sallow and subsequent detention announced for him, again, peaceful, and at last, she was free to leave the room. It smells overwhelmingly of burning hair now anyway. She begins to walk to her next class, Herbology with Professor Garlic, only half paying attention to what Poppy and Natty were talking about. But then, she feels a tap on the shoulder.
Hey, you got a moment?
She turns to find Sebastian behind her, wearing that lopsided grin that usually means he is up to no good. Anna tilts her head to the side, curious. Did he discover something new in his research? Why not just send an owl, like he usually does? Or is it something urgent? Sure. She waves to Poppy and Natty to keep going, but they shake their heads.
It's okay, we can wait for you.
Go on, plan your mischief, the two of you.
It won't take long.
Sebastian takes her hand, making her freeze up for a brief moment, and pulls her away towards the alcove by the window, the one where she always runs into the castle's cats. He tows her by the hand like he is afraid she will bolt, which is a bit strange, but it's not like she's never held hands with him before. Going through the ancient magic mirrors, she always took his hand in hers to ensure they both made it through. But usually, she has her thick dueling gloves on. What is it, Sebastian? Is everything all right?
Yep, perfectly fine.
He stops and taps his foot a few times, all the while looking at her intently. Then, why...
Will you come to the school dance with me?
Huh?
Well, that wasn't quite the response I was hoping for.
I mean, I'm just surprised is all.
Why would you be? You're a bit of an idol in our year. I heard at least 3 other boys talking about asking you, so I did it first. Or did I?
Whoa, what? What? Who?
That Pruitt kid. Your Ravenclaw classmate.
Amit?
No, the stupid one.
Oh, Everett?
And Gareth Weasley. He didn't ask you already, did he?
No!
Honestly, the caliber of your admirers is disappointing.
She raises an eyebrow at him. Doesn't you asking puts you into that group too?
I bring the common denominator up, thank you very much. So will you come to the dance with me?
She can feel the fierce blush on her cheeks. She actually considered asking him first. But he is such a good-looking boy. She was sure someone would have asked him already. And she only knew him for a few months. Maybe he had a lady friend she didn't know about. Yes, I'd love to, Sebastian. The tension dissipates from his brow as she replies, and he smiles, surprisingly gentle.
Great! I'll see you in the next class.
He hesitates for a brief moment and squeezes her hand before briskly walking out of the alcove. Anna leans back on the wall, grateful for the support and coolness of the stone. The skin of her hand is burning and her heart pounds high in her throat. What just happened? As she breathes in and out, hoping to calm down her racing heart, Natty and Poppy come running up to her.
Are you okay? Did he say something to you?
He left so quickly and didn't say a word to us, just nearly ran by. Did you two have a fight or something? Oh, I'm not the one to judge people simply by their house, but Slytherins can be quite ruthless.
No, nothing like that. It's kind of the opposite, actually.
Opposite how?
He asked me to come with him to the Yule dance.
Oh, I see. It's not surprising. You two are close.
Poppy's round face, however, falls noticeably.
Oh really? Congratulations!
Thank you. Shall we go? It's a bit of a walk to the greenhouse.
You two go ahead. I'm going to use the ladies' room.
Poppy darts away, just as quickly as Sebastian did a few moments ago. Anna stares after her. Could it be?
What's wrong with her? Let's go. I do like the chomping cabbages. I think they are cute.
She is studying in the quiet of the undercroft when she hears the door creak open. Yes, she could have gone to the room of requirement, but Deke would absolutely notice that she is in disarray. Thankfully, it's not Ominis. It seems like the Gaunt boy started avoiding his previously precious secret spot because of her. She feels kind of bad for it, but she didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, you're here. Good. I was hoping you would be.
Yeah, Scribner has a spot on the wall for my head. I avoid the library during the day.
But there is nothing more exciting at night.
Oh, I can think of a few things.
Really?
Have you ever seen moon calves dance under the moonlight? It's so beautiful, and I ran into a unicorn in the forest at night as well.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, you meant that. I mean, I'd love to see it sometime.
She smiles, nods, and goes back to her book. With all the extracurricular activities she's been involved in, she barely had time to do any required reading. Sharp has already pointedly told her the potions she's been making lately belong in the sink. Sebastian also buries his nose into a heavy tome of his own, and for a long, comfortable moment, they sit in the sonorous silence of the shadowy hall.
Sweeting seems strangely upset today, not like her. Did you two not take on a poacher camp just a few days ago?
We did, and she was fine, better than fine, until you asked me to the dance.
Why? What does it have to do with her?
It's clear that she is jealous, I suppose. Perhaps she had a crush on you. She didn't say anything, but her face told the story.
We barely ever speak, until you came along, that is. She came out of her shell, that is true, but also...
It doesn't mean one cannot find another person attractive. I barely speak to Gareth, and yet you are telling me he is...
Is head over heels for you? Everyone else falls for his idiotic schemes, but you said no to him. Guess that was enough.
I wasn't going to steal from Sharp. The man is an ex-Aura, I'm not stupid. And he absolutely saw me talking to Gareth and actually commended me for not going with his plan. Sebastian runs a hand through his messy hair.
Please, enough. Talking about Weasley makes me want to punch something.
Are you jealous?
Yes. He doesn't know the first thing about you, and yet he thinks he has a chance. Makes my blood boil.
Sebastian, let me tell you this right now. Gareth Weasley has no chance.
Doesn't mean he won't try. I'm keeping my eye on him.
Anna laughs and shakes her head. It's not like she can't defend herself, but this feels nice. She feels safer with Sebastian around. Beside her, he fidgets with the edge of a page.
And look, I'm sorry to hurt Sweeting's feelings, but I had no idea.
Neither did I. She kept it close to the chest, it seems. He nods, but she can feel there is something more he wants to say.
Besides, her hair is still down. She's still a child. It's not like I could justify even thinking about that.
That is true. One does not consider a girl grown until her hair goes up. But it's not like it wasn't possible for children to fall in love with someone before that. Of course not. Anna twirls a strand of her own hair that fell out of her messy bun. She started putting her hair up right before going to Hogwarts, in hopes it would make her look a bit older and a bit more respectable and mature. Perhaps it worked a little too well. Sebastian's dark eyes are locked onto the movements of her finger, wrapping the strand of hair around it on and off. Slowly, his hand reaches up and brushes some loose flyaways from her neck. Anna's breath hitches as the tips of his fingers glide along her skin. Like earlier, his touch burns, but it burns so good, and the veins of fire are running along her nerves down her spine. She shivers.
I like seeing your neck.
Somehow, she finds enough air in her lungs to quip back. Careful now, Sallow. You sound like a vampire. He chuckles. The hand that was caressing her neck moves to twirl a strand of hair she was playing with earlier. There is a hunger in his eyes, as if he has been dying to do so for a long, long time. Perhaps he had. He twirls the hair around his finger and gently tugs on it, letting it almost slip off. But then, he leans closer and plants a small kiss on top of the strand. Anna knows she must be redder than a beet, but she doesn't have it in her to tell him to stop. She never felt anything like this. This heat and yearning gathering in her stomach, it is too much. The door to the undercroft clatters and Sebastian jerks away, sliding as far from her as the bench would allow. He doesn't look at her, but his freckled cheeks are dusted with blush, and she can see his chest rising and falling much too fast. Ominis walks in, as usual feeling his way with the small pulses of magic from his wand.
There you are, Sebastian. Ronan is looking for you. Something about the...
I know nothing about the bubotuber pus on the windows of the common room.
Uh-huh. Come on, he is the head of our house. As much as you would like to, you can't just ignore him.
The wand makes a small sweeping motion, and he frowns slightly. He still doesn't like it when she is in the undercroft.
Visconti, it appears you're here again.
Anna would call Ominis her friend, but it's clear that the damaged boy needs a lot of time to accept any sort of change. So I am...
Do as you please. It's not like I can kick you out of here.
I'd like to see you try.
No, thank you. I hear enough screaming from her sparring partners in defense against the dark arts to know I would be wholly outmatched.
You don't know the half of it.
And I don't want to.
Probably wise.
As the grate drops behind the two of them, Sebastian casts a quick glance at her over his shoulder. Anna swallows thickly. Her heart still beats against her ribs like a caged bird. Touching a hand to her cheek confirms just how flushed she is. She might need to send Ominis a fruit basket for showing up when he did. Or maybe a dung bomb rigged to explode on opening. Maybe both. Merlin knows what she would have done had he not interrupted them. What Sebastian might have done. One thing is clear. This is not helping her pass Sharp's class. She sighs and opens the book once again.